RX7s, and it only took me 10 passes to beat 'em. Welcome to the channel, Rye sucks, and Logan's awesome, but Rye sucks. Don't forget the Rye sucks. He's the worst person in the whole world. I hate Rye.
Today's the day. It's a Bert.
Just don't put me in it.
Don't put you. All right, I won't film you at all. It's a Bert and Logan adventure. Edgewater Motorsports Park for a track rental with Dalton, Winfield, and the Tin Soldier boys. And we're playing hooky from work. Now, I have never been to Edgewater before, but the fall vibe is heavy. And the RX7 is, well, it's not ready, but it's as ready as it's gonna be. I decided to park under the trees because I thought the leaves falling would make for a cool picture. Let's see what this old girl can do. So I'm back home now. Yesterday at the track, I honestly intended on filming as much as I possibly could. And then as soon as I unloaded the car off the trailer, I realized I couldn't divide my attention between trying to make a video for the channel and trying to accomplish a goal that I have set for many, many years. So unfortunately that got shelved. So a quick recap on the combination that the RX7 has, and then I'll get to the pass from yesterday that made it all worthwhile. And then we'll jump into the Caprice because I have an update on what caused the low oil pressure situation on drag week. So the RX7 started with an LS, ended up with a 2JZ. It is a 2JZ GE, Manley pistons, Manley rods, stock crankshaft, real street billet mains. Donald Summerton at Accelerated Performance did the Shortblock. Garrett turbochargers G45-1500, which is a 76 millimeter. Dusty Bradford with PTC did the torque converter. Powerglide transmission. Still has an IRS. It's an 8.8 IRS. And it also has drive shaft shop axles and import drag solutions rear coilovers. We're running a Haltech Nexus R5 ECU, dialed in by Dynosty and Bert himself. Straightforward combo. Car weighs about 2,700 pounds with me in it. So yesterday, we're making right around 43 pounds of boost. That dyno video was at 1,100 horsepower, around the same amount of boost. The front half of the track, we use nitrous to spool the turbo, and then we also use it for a couple seconds after I let go of the trans brake. And then from the 8th mile on, basically, it's nothing but boost. The other thing is, yesterday we played with launch RPM a bunch and what to leave on for boost. We finally found a sweet spot after a few 8.0 passes, and that resulted in me getting exactly what I wanted, and that was Dragon Rise butt. That was actually one of the smoothest outings I've ever had. And I give a ton of props to Edgewater, the facilities, and to Jason Terrell, Tin Soldiers, Dalton, Winfield. They put on an awesome test and tune, and the track was straight flypaper. It was the absolute best conditions all the way around from a temperature standpoint, DA, track surface, everything was absolutely perfect. Everybody ran smooth, no issues. And to be able to chip away at it and then finally get that pass up on the board, it was absolutely awesome. So again, that's happened. It's in the past. I'm not like Rye. I'm not going to just dwell on and hold it over his head I probably will hold it over his head for the foreseeable future. But for now, we need to jump back to the Caprice. So RX7, 7-second car, super stoked. Can't do it without all the people that helped me along the way. And now it's time to focus on the family sedan and getting it ready for sick week. But before that, I have discovered what caused our drag week oil pressure drop. And just as I suspected, I didn't suspect anything. I just kind of, I really even guess. I just kept driving it. Yeah, little shavings, some small stuff, but we should probably cut the filter open.
46, that is going to be off base. Jim in the Monte Carlo on the right-hand side, 1152 at 135, as we come up with Frank Romano.
There was a puff of smoke out of Baker's car very late in that run. I think
see the bottom of the housing? Oh, shit.
I hope they didn't hurt things bad as we see Frank Romano left-hand side, as you mentioned. It's not terrible. Car is now equipped with nitrous, but we do not believe he has sprayed it yet this week. 509.
Scott, do you have a flashlight? What'd I say? What'd I say?
That's not good, but...
What the hell?
That ain't nothing.
Turn it 8 till it lays over.
Right, keys, I'm gonna start it. Give me the keys. Gosh. Come on. What are you doing? What was that?
Throw overhand.
Now again, 28, 27, it's not bad for an LS at idle. It's really not. But we started this trip.
Turn it off, we're gonna lose the shop.
We just are down 30 pounds from where we started. So again, it's Rye's fault, number one. And number two, we have a couple options. Number one is we just tow it to my buddy's shop, park it, we're done. Or we make a nice easy pass and we see how long it takes to destroy the rest of the engine. So that's where we're at. Last week I tore the cylinder heads off the long block and I was just out of steam. I was out of gas. I was gasless. I was like an electric vehicle. Oh, that joke sucked, but I was just tired and I took a break. This week I got the short block out of the engine bay and over on the floor over there, and I absolutely discovered the low oil pressure issue, which I'm excited to share with you all. So judging by the parts that we have laid out here, I wonder if you guys can figure it out before I tell you. The lifters came out fine. Cam gear, obviously fine. Lifter trays, obviously if the lifter's out, those came out fine. Front cover's off. Oil pump is still attached. Oil pan still attached. We got the cam sticking out just a touch. Everything else, cylinder-wise, I mean, not that anything here would tell you what's going on with oil pressure, but what might, let me see if I can get around to the other side first. Okay, all these are money, no big deal. Everything look good? Everything looks good, right? No crazy issues, everything's happy. There's definitely nothing wrong. All right, I'm gonna give you a few seconds here to chew on the evidence. Everything you need to know about why it lost oil pressure is in this picture. So look closely, just chew on it. Just chew on it a little more. Give it a little chew-ski. Figure it out? That's my buzzer. Time's up. All right, I'll show you why I lost oil pressure. You notice the cam's not all the way out. You'd be like, dude, why did you not pull the cam out? You pulled everything else out. The reason that I didn't pull the cam out is because I can't pull the cam out because this SOB spun a cam bearing. Maybe a crank bearing too, honestly, though. I haven't pulled apart the bottom end, but let me see if I can zoom in, get a little focus going. You can see GM stamped on the back of that bearing. That's because it's wallered out the cam bearing and ripped it out of the bore, and it was doing the old spin job and blocking that cam, that oil passageway to that main cam lobe. So unless my Brian Tooley Racing camshaft is made of adamantium, I will probably, which is a sick reference to Wolverine if you're wondering, I will probably have to replace the camshaft, but I have some stuff up my sleeve for that anyway. But yeah, that's the cause, that's the culprit, and that sucker hung on for dear life. So this makes it interesting to try to get, like, oh, come on with it. Come on. Everyone's watching. You made me look stupid. You're making me look so stupid. Come on, please. Things escalated quickly. This old bird just would not let go. And the cam's still in there, just so you know, it's not out yet. And another discovery. So I popped the oil pan. Before I get to that, I will say every piston and rod, every rod bearing rather, they look the same as when I put them in there. Old, dingy, but there's no new cuts or grooves in them, which is awesome. Crankshaft, same deal. None of the mains have anything like deep in the journal. There's some surface stuff, but honestly, I don't know. I can attribute that to what it was, the engine before I even took it apart. I mean, it was a heavily used engine that I did not take it easy on, but all the main bearings, same deal. None of them, I mean, they look old and dingy, but none of them are completely gone. Like, this is how they looked when I put the engine together. I thought for sure the thrust at least would be jacked, but it's, I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it's not undrivable. But the one thing, and let me see this guy right here, it's a cam bearing. And then there's another cam bearing right here. So it knocked 2 cam bearings out of the engine on drag week. That right there is what dropped our oil pressure. Okay, so when the junkyard rebuilders are like, don't look at the cam bearings, look at the cam bearings. Oh man, that's funny. So this one, I think this is number 3. I think it was marked. I don't know, I can't tell. But either way, this, I believe this was the number 3 cam bearing. And the beat up edge, I think that's for me trying to remove it, I would hope. And then this is number 4, 4th cam bearing. And you can see there's no bearing left. I mean, it's all the way down. And this sucker was just dangling in there too. So 2 cam bearings down for the count. The question is, did the camshaft survive? See, the old BTR camshaft lived to tell the tale. Not bad, honestly not bad at all. You can tell if you see the hard black edge on that main cam journal, and there as well, probably tough to tell, but see how dark that is, and then that's just straight silver, and obviously this one is not. These 2 main cam journals are where those spun, and they did a number. The camshaft itself is not in bad shape considering the circumstances. Those cam bearings were toasted for 500 miles of 100+ degree with heat index temps with no oil cooler, and us just thrashing on this thing. So +1 for the old BTR cam. I am done for the day. I got the engine torn down out of the Caprice. We recapped the 7-second journey on the RX7. I'm ready to call it a weekend and relax. I appreciate everybody for watching and supporting. Head over to clappedout.com. All of our remaining shirts are $15 a piece, with the exception of the new Caprice shirts, which are on pre-order right now and should ship next week. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you want. If you don't, I understand. It's because of Rye. Have a blessed day.
Don't ever forget that I beat Rye. I put him in the dirt, yeah, I buried him deep. He's never gonna catch me. I'm too fast, he's too fast, too fast. So fast that Rye will never catch him.